Selling your house is one of the most stressful things you can do, and in today's tricky market, it's got a whole lot harder.
We're on a mission to turn unsellable houses into unstoppable sellers.
I'm going to get the best out of the houses.
While I get the best out of the estate agents.
Together, we're going to show you the tricks of the trade to make an unsellable house sellable.
Coming up on today's programme.
Wow!
A retired nurse's home in need of some intensive care.
There are so many colours and patterns.
And it's just as bad upstairs.
Pink curtain, pink bedspread. I think these knickknacks and the teddy bears on the bed need to go.
And after 2 years flatlining on the market, I get tough with the agent.
Are you delivering for her?
We're certainly not delivering at the moment.
Burfield, West Berkshire is home to our latest unsellable. Today's home has a lot to offer potential buyers.
It's a deceptively large 4-bedroom detached home with a garage, parking for 3 cars and a good-sized garden.
It went on the market 2 years ago at £400,000. However, due to a lack of interest, it's been progressively lowered to £326,950.
But in that time, they've had only 5 viewings, which is terrible, even in today's tough market.
2 years is a long time on the shelf for a house in a leafy village like this. But I'm not scared off. I can't wait to get inside and take a look.
And I never give up on a sale, so I'm going to check out the local area and, most important of all, talk to the agent and see what's going wrong.
Meet Maria Lambourne. This former nurse has lived at her current home for 10 years. Her 3 daughters have flown the nest, but her eldest, Miranda, is back to help her get a sale.
I do miss the children, being nearby and being around.
We were all living at home until, I guess, about 8 years ago now, at which point I think I was the first one to move out. It's a bit of a shame because I'm a family girl at heart.
And the more space Maria gained, the less it felt like home.
It is a bit too large for me now. And I think when you have lots of people in a house, it becomes cosy, doesn't it? Whereas this is no longer cosy for me because it's too spacious.
It is a big house to maintain as well, and we try and come over every so often to do a little bit of DIY and help keep the place in order.
And if Maria feels lukewarm about her home, potential buyers have frozen it out.
I think it looks like a different house from the outside at the front than it actually is inside. So people who are looking for a family home with 4 bedrooms drive right past.
It does become very frustrating. And emotionally, I have moved forward from this house now, but physically I can't.
So why are buyers ignoring this large family house? It's time for me to take a look.
Well, it says it's a 4-bedroom house, but it doesn't really look like one from the outside. Double parking, though, and a garage. That's a good sign.
Peppermint. There's more pastel here than a sweet shop.
Peach wallpaper, which seems to run throughout the house, with the old lampshades, so many knickknacks. Feels quite dated in here. I don't get the sense of being in a modern house.
In fact, it's starting to feel like a tired bed and breakfast.
Wow! There are so many colours and patterns in this room. Red sofas, green carpet, red walls.
This eclectic mix has got the walls closing in.
There's so much furniture in this bit. You've got a bookshelf, 2 desks there, a coffee table, a rocking chair, a chair, another coffee table. Feels very, very crammed.
The more I see, the less I like.
I think we have quite a lot of work to do in this room to get it into the 21st century rather than the 20th century.
Is it too much to hope that it gets better upstairs?
Wow.
Is this really Maria's master bedroom? It's girly and the soft toys.
Pink curtain, pink bedspread. I think these knickknacks and the teddy bears on the bed need to go.
No wonder Mrs. Mouse is staging a getaway.
The thing about this bedroom is it's a really, really good size. But it doesn't feel big, because A, you've got all this really dark furniture, and B, the bed is in a really weird place. It should be much more centred, and I think the room would look much better.
We have got to get rid of this wallpaper.
It's big, it's bright, but at the moment it's stuck in this 70s time warp. Wallpaper, it's dated, it's cluttered, and I'm sorry to say, but in its present condition, totally unsellable.
Well, while Sophie's breaking the news to Maria, I'm going to do what I love best, putting in the legwork, checking out the local area and finding out if it's the agent who's getting it wrong.
A place like Burfield should have a lot to offer. Just a 15-minute drive to Reading, this small village has the best of both worlds. Close to a large woodland area and waterways, it's ideal for anyone into hiking, fishing or boating. And with easy access to the M4, it opens up to the rest of the country. With all this, Maria's property should have been snapped up a long time ago.
Selling Maria's home in its present condition is not going to be easy. It's time for some home truths.
First things first, this is a huge room. I was not expecting to see a room this size, because it's quite funny. Yeah. Do you have an amazing selection of furniture here? 2 desks, a coffee table, a bookshelf and another desk.
My thought was to put the computer and everything upstairs in the study, which I've created. Just never got around to doing it, really.
Not getting round to it, I'm getting the impression that Maria's procrastination is what I need to get in order.
Maybe cosy with slightly less furniture.
Trouble is, these kids keep coming back every weekend.
Blame us.
Maria, and this dado rail, it's not helping you.
Did you put that in?
That was inherited.
In a period house, if it's an original feature, they look great.
Yeah.
But in a house like this, they do scream 70s. So I think I'm going to have to take pleasure in removing the rail and painting the wall the same colour.
I'd be happy to help.
Good. You don't mind us sort of making this room a bit more modern and contemporary? Because I feel you're a little unsure at the moment.
I have to think about it really hard and long.
It's been 2 years. If Maria wants to sell, she'd better make a quick decision.
So, Maria, this is your bedroom.
Yes, it is.
Come over here. Are you a keen gardener?
Yeah, I am.
Right. So, if I was standing here, I wouldn't know there was a garden out there, because I'd have to find it through 2 layers of net.
Oh, yes, yes.
When you're selling your house, you've got to emphasise the plus points. Something as simple as opening the curtains could help bring an offer.
Would you mind if we maybe painted it so it was a bit brighter, a bit more modern?
Are we going to get a decision?
You'll see.
I think that might be something I will consider.
Oh great, a definite maybe. With this kind of decision-making, I'm not surprised the house looks like it's stuck in the 70s.
My aim is to find out as much as possible about the local area. I want to be well armed before I meet the estate agent. And if you're trying to sell your house, it's a good idea to remind yourself of all the good things your area has to offer.
So I'm off to talk to the locals.
Why would somebody want to come and live here?
Because it's very quiet. I think it's probably is a very nice place to live.
You can find all the entertainment you need, all the sport you need, the recreational activities and the schools, combined with open space.
All the people enjoying here and in the morning time, the jogging and the swimming here. See, it's very lovely.
OK, so a nice community atmosphere and a friendly place to live.
Yeah, it is.
It has the best of both worlds. You're rural, but you can go into town.
I don't think there's much downside, really.
Well, I'm sold. And I reckon once the Allsopp touch is applied, Maria's house will be too.
Before we can bring in the buyers, we have to get all this clutter out. Maria and Miranda are getting into all the dirty work and unearthing a few surprises.
No. Didn't even know she had that.
Sorry, no time for distractions. There's a house to clear. And don't forget those treasures upstairs. It's important your house shows personality, but be careful of the look you're creating. As a general rule, take out about half of all your knickknacks. Ripping out bad fixtures is the right decision and very therapeutic. So pleased to be getting rid of the dado rail. It didn't look very good in this house. All right, just whack it down there. If Maria wants a 21st century price for the property, then the 1970s B&B look has to go. We don't want buyers turning and running out the front door. With the last bit out the house, I can see the property's potential. Now I can get cracking on my plan.
Burfield is mainly post-war properties, and with a population of less than 6,000, it's nice and quiet. But even in today's tough times, it's still making quite a noise in the property market.
Just look at these unstoppable homes in the local area. Virtually new, detached, 4-bed, ensuite bathroom, 2 reception rooms, utility room, garden, sold in 4 months for £345,000. 3-bed semi, open-plan kitchen, dining, living room, mature garden. Sold in 2 months for £320,000. Which all goes to show that, even in difficult times like these, houses do still sell. With our help, Maria's could find a buyer too.
We've got rid of boxes of personal effects and clutter, and now we're ready to get started on the design plan.
In Maria's hallway, we're coming bang up to date to make it more inviting. We're going to lose the bad bed and breakfast master bedroom by adding a touch of sophistication. And finally, the motto for her living room will become less is more. Although the room has its attractions, large size, fireplace and a view of the garden, all the mismatched colours and patterns give me a headache. We need to brighten up this large room. We could go with a welcoming yellow, but I think a neutral colour will help us realise the room's full potential. We'll add minimal recovered furnishings and place them to create a flow to the garden. Carefully selected fixtures and some plants will complete the look.
Sophie's plan to revamp the house is only part of the deal. I need to ask some serious questions about why this home hasn't sold in 2 years to find out where the marketing is going wrong. Before I meet the agent, I want to get Maria's thoughts.
In the last 6 months, you've had 2 viewings?
2 viewings.
I mean, even quiet though it is at the moment, I'm quite surprised they wouldn't get more than 2 people through the door to look at the house. How often does your agent talk to you?
Certainly when I put the property on the market, I had regular contact with Dale then, but then that went quiet.
How do you feel about that, the way he's treating it?
Well, I guess I've been a little bit despondent.
Little contact and 2 viewings in 6 months. No wonder Maria's despondent.
One eventually becomes confused after a while because you're constantly hearing that it's a credit crunch and nobody's buying, but, you know, you go on some websites and you see that houses are selling, actually.
Yeah. Maria's right. The housing market is slow, not dead.
The other thing that surprises me is there's no for sale sign outside. Why is that?
I haven't, and I have to accept full responsibility for that. I didn't think it would contribute to a sale because most of the people who live locally are aware that the house is on the market and they can tell you all about its history and everything. So that was my decision.
I think, with respect, it's the wrong decision.
You can't assume your buyer will be local. Families outside the area will come in to scout what's for sale. Maria has to rethink the board.
It's what we do now, really, though. But can we get a for sale board up? Because I think it will help.
Well, I wouldn't mind.
OK.
Yes.
Well, only 5 viewings in 2 years and only 2 in the last 6 months. It isn't good enough, and I know we can do a lot better here. I'm off to talk to the agent.
It's paintbrushes a go-go at Maria's as we cover up the years and create a completely different feel. So, in this house, if it's stationary, paint it.
If you've got dark, outdated furniture that's making your room look smaller, don't panic. You don't need to spend a fortune replacing it. A couple of coats of paint will transform the furniture for very little cost.
And the hallway's candy stripe is no more. This place was too sugary for even the sweetest tooth. We want an elegant and contemporary entrance that will make would-be buyers want to see more. There's a reason that colours like magnolia and antique cream are the top-selling paints. That's because painting rooms pale colours maximises the feeling of light and space, which is essential in small and narrow rooms. And since Maria's living room is large already, it's going to feel huge. I've got her putting that principle into practice in the hallway. There's another feature getting a modern makeover. We are well on our way.
When we first met retired nurse Maria, all her kids had moved out and her big house was swallowing her up.
This is no longer cosy for me because it's too spacious.
But after 2 years on the market, she had less than half a dozen viewings and no offers.
It does become very frustrating. And emotionally, I have moved forward from this house now, but physically I can't.
Then the unsellables arrived.
You don't mind us making this room a bit more modern and contemporary?
I have to think about it really hard and long.
But as the house was getting cleared, I had a much more decisive Maria on the issue of the missing for sale board.
Can we get a for sale board up? Because I think it will help.
Well, I wouldn't mind.
OK.
Yes.
Now, with the redesign running at full tilt, it's time for me to tackle the agent and shake up that marketing. I'm still astonished that there have been only 5 viewings in 2 years. OK, Maria didn't help herself with the for sale board, but her agent Dale should have pushed that.
Dale, so are you delivering for her?
We're certainly not delivering at the moment. I don't think there are many agents out there that are delivering. Everything that can be done is being done. We're here, we haven't reduced hours, we're still here weekends waiting for the elusive buyer.
In 2 years? That's not elusive, it's non-existent.
I've had a chat with Maria about what's going on. She wants to use you as an agent. Her one complaint would be not enough communication. She thinks you're not communicating with her enough.
I think communication is vital. I'm slightly disappointed by that, if I'm honest with you. And I think if there was anything to communicate to any of my vendors, we would be on the phone.
I think she feels neglected. That may be unfair, but I think she does.
So I think it's something I'll say to you is I'll bear that in mind and perhaps make sure Maria is contacted a little bit more frequently.
I think Maria will be reassured to hear that. Now, we've got to talk about the sales tools.
Looking at the marketing, there's some things I like, some things I'm not so sure about. I'm going to be harsh here, but the brochure isn't doing the job because it isn't getting people through the door.
Yeah.
One thing that I don't think comes across is just how big the house is. There's not a lot of photos. We're quite light on photos. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah. We won't put in too many photographs because people might make decisions, well, we don't like the photograph, therefore we won't view the property.
I'd beg to differ there. I always want more information.
I think we can look at it, we can change it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Dale is prepared to be much more flexible. I just don't think his marketing is working hard enough for Maria at the moment. And, after all, how else will he bring in the viewers?
Don't be afraid to review and change the brochure and make sure your property's best assets are right at the start. For instance, if your property looks small from the outside but is big inside, like Maria's house, then just say so. If you're not happy with your agent, ask for a review meeting and demand to know how they're advertising your house. Be clear about your expectations and where they're not being met. Don't automatically go for the cheapest agent. To do a good job, an estate agent needs to provide good offices, well-trained staff, and fund a good advertising campaign. And remember, if they're on more commission, all the more incentive to sell your house. Don't go for the cheapest option. It could be a false economy.
It's been quite a struggle, but with the worst behind us, we're ready to turn this place around. While Maria takes a break, we're hard at work adding some finishing touches. To Maria's sofa, we're applying some crisp white slipcovers. When selling a home, there are some easy fixes that can be done that deliver a lot for little cost. In the bedroom, we've cut back on the layers at the window. Now we can see the garden. And we're installing some neutral curtains. These will complement the room's new clean colour palette.
If you've got a great selling feature like a working fire, don't hide it, show it off. A roaring fire creates a warm and inviting feel in a room, and potential buyers will be mentally moving in before they've even got upstairs.
With a bit of thought given to accessories and their placement, we're set to relaunch. This house is well on its way to becoming sellable. Just 3 days ago, Maria's home looked like a tired bed and breakfast stuck somewhere in the last century. In a booming market, would-be buyers would have seen these clashing patterns and loud colours as purely cosmetic and easily fixed. But in today's tough times, this just doesn't make the grade. From my time as an agent, I know many buyers want a house they can move into straight away, rather than being forced to live with unappealing decor until they can afford to change it. This crossroads where clutter meets kitsch was never going to be a destination address. And after 2 years on the market with little or no interest, it's no wonder that Maria was despondent. But then the unsellables arrived. And we've really knocked this place into shape. The entranceway that made you want to exit told the tale of the whole house. Dated wallpaper, cram collectibles and peppermint cream curtains that didn't roll out the welcome mat. But now, all that is gone. And in its place is a warm, contemporary and inviting hall that encourages more than a second glance. The neutral colour widens the space, and with the curtains gone, it is flooded with light. Maria's girly pink master bedroom, complete with cuddly toys, wasn't even close to the adult haven buyers have been looking for. But now it's gone from bed and breakfast to boutique hotel. Painting the dark wood furniture has instantly lightened the room and expanded the sense of space. The confident colour schemes whispers sophistication. The biggest travesty was the living room. This great-sized room should have sold the property on its own, but Maria's unique more is more approach to interiors saw off any would-be buyers. Even the view of the garden was lost. Now it's transformed. It's brighter and its contents lighter. We've thinned out the furniture to emphasise the space. Now the fireplace and even the garden help sell the room. If viewers thought the outside of the house belied its size, this room will completely take them by surprise. Maria's home is barely recognisable. I cannot wait to show her.
OK, Maria, come on into the hallway. Now, we've just sort of pared it down a bit, made it a bit brighter, got some slightly more contemporary shades.
Yeah.
I'd like a bit more enthusiasm.
And we've taken away the green curtains.
You use the mirror. I thought that would go, actually.
No,
Surprisingly, it's there.
It's always important to have a mirror in the hallway, so when you go out, mascara, lipstick, looking good, out the door.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Don't go overboard, Maria.
I was really expecting something totally different, but I like the lighter curtains on the windows.
Yeah.
It does look clean and it looks bright at the same time, and I like the light colours on the bed.
Come on in, come on in. God, I'm nervous.
So am I. It looks very nice, actually.
That's more like it.
Now, isn't that a nice fire to look upon?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
It is. Oh, I like the candle holders.
Time to get a second opinion.
Miranda, come on in.
Wow, it's a lot brighter, isn't it?
It is.
It looks like a different room altogether.
It seems our revamp has really motivated Maria.
I really want to sell this unsellable house, and I do believe that this is what people are looking for.
Certainly, Maria. This house is officially sellable.
With all our hard work done inside the home, it's now all about the marketing and tempting viewers through the door. Dale's redone the brochure and put up the for sale sign. So we'll see if that attracts some attention.
I think certainly from any buyer's perspective, they do want to see clean lines, rooms which have no clutter in there, and therefore it presents itself in very, very good condition. I think everything that's been done is certainly going to be appealing to potential buyers.
In the time available, Dale hasn't found any viewers looking for this size of home. But Maria asked a couple of friends to come over. They know what her house used to look like and she wants their verdict on our makeover. She's also keen that they put Agent Dale through his paces.
Right, here we have the master bedroom.
Looks great, love the colours.
It's a very nice sized double bedroom and a very nice bright and airy room, as you can see.
Dale's off and running.
Into the living room. A couple of very noteworthy features, I think, are obviously the fireplace. Also, we've got the patio doors leading out onto the garden. OK, here we have the master bedroom, so there is plenty of room.
Very nice. And are they double glazed windows?
Yes, they are double glazed, that's right. The main living room. It's very unusual for a house of this size to have such a large living room.
And I like it so bright, you know, it's so bright.
So what do they think of our makeover?
It looks very smart, really like the sitting room.
Very nice indeed, very nice.
That makes all the hard work worth it. It's up to Dale now to build on the strong start. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well, the decor seems to be doing the trick.
Yeah, and the agent's done his job too.
So hopefully the offers will come flooding in.
Let's hope so.
Our intervention worked, and within a week of leaving, Dale had found a buyer and Maria had accepted an offer on her home. Sadly, that sale fell through. Now, 8 weeks later, Maria's seen a 7-fold increase in viewings compared to before our visit, and says she's optimistic for the first time in 2 years that her home will attract a buyer.